Hello everyone, it's Dark7. Today we are playing WINOTA Energy. So we got all the regular energy stuff. God of Souls, Ocelot Pride, Galvanic Discharge, Static Prison, Ragavan, Ajani's, Bombardment, Season Pyromancers, but we also got the new card, Lightning Army of One. And this card works so amazing with WINOTA. So this is also a human, and the energy deck actually plays a lot of humans. So God of Souls is a human, Voice of Victory is a human, Season Pyromancer is a human, and also Lightning is a human. So you can attack, trigger WINOTA, and get this guy into the play. It first strikes, it deals damage to opponent with trample, and then everything else deals double damage. It's usually enough to one-shot people with WINOTA, and this is exactly the card the WINOTA was missing. It's literally the exact card I was talking. The deck needs something to double damage that's also not costing like 7 mana, and this is ideal. So it's a 3 mana, we got 3 Arena of Glories, works great with Arena of Glory and Goblin Bombardment, and it also works well with WINOTA, and a lot of times you can one-shot people, and this is just a huge deal and a huge upgrade to WINOTA strategies. Okay, so a Voice of Victory is another huge upgrade for WINOTA, recently printed. Why? Because this guy disables opponent from interacting with you on your turn when you play WINOTA. So usually they will like hold removal for a whole game just to kill your WINOTA, but here it's not possible because you're playing energy deck. You have a lot of high value creatures. They see a God of Souls, they have to kill it. They have to kill Ocelot, they have to kill Ajani, they have to kill Lightning as well, Ragavan, and now you also have a WINOTA, and they have to kill it the turn it enters the field, but you also have a Voice of Victory to protect it. Sometimes you will attack and the opponent will let you trigger one WINOTA ability and you will find Voice, and they were hoping to like interact with you later after the triggers. But you find Voice and they can't do anything until their turn, and it's really amazing, works perfect. Okay, so in the sideboard I got Magus of the Moon. Because it's a human, you can find it with WINOTA. I choose to play Magus instead of Blood Moon. Obsidian Charmau, additional land hate, Wear Tears, and I got Aethersworn Canonist instead of other combo hates like Magebane Lizard or Dumping Sphere or whatever, because this guy is also a human, and it turns off some important combo decks like Storm, and it's good to board against other combo decks as well. It works well against other decks that just play a lot of spells like the new Vivid decks, but some of these decks are artifact dependent and Canonist allows them to play artifacts, so it's not as good. But also I really wanted to have a hate piece against Storm, and this locks Storm very well, much better than Magebane Lizard. So I decided to go with Canonist first, but it's kind of my flex slot for a combo hate pieces and could be another thing. Okay, so we got Traben Charms, no room for them in the main in this version, so I got them in the side. I like this card a lot, and I think it's a good from side as well. Couple more Static Prisons and Wrath of the Skies for those Saga decks and Mox Opal decks that are going to be popular, I think, again with Vivi, everyone trying Vivi. Okay, so that's all. Before we go to the gameplay, I want to remind you about my Decktionary profile. Link is down below in the video description. So you got these two tiers. It's a base tier and the zoo tier. Base tier holds these 5 guides here. These 2 are older ones, but these 2 are all from the last few months updated, and in the zoo tier, which is a $20 one, you also got these 2 newer guides, Fable Domain Zoo Guide and Frog Zoo, and also the zoo tier gets you access to articles. I got 3 articles here. These on the top row, it's more than 11,000 words, more than 50 pages of my thoughts on zoo matchups, tips and tricks, and a lot of other stuff. Okay, so that's it. We can now go to the gameplay and see how it went. I played a lot against Energy, and this version just crushes the mirror. You are playing like all good stuff they are playing, but you also like have WINOTA, which is just the I win button, because if they have to deal with everything else, and once WINOTA hits the field, they just mostly lose. Not always, but it's a big player in the matchup, which will win you a lot of mirror games. Okay, so opponent starts with Preordain, I start with Ragavan. And I draw Fable for a turn. I think that was a good draw. Sorry, not Fable, but Ajani. Ajani is just so good with WINOTA. It gives you 2 attackers for WINOTA, both trigger it. And it's such a good card in the deck overall. We can see opponent here. I wanted to block their attacker, so I decided to play Ajani first here. I did have a bombardment, and a lot of times people will play bombardment first, Ajani second, but in this matchup I think I want to make them use their removal on my creatures, and play Ajani. If they don't have removal, then they have to stay back and not attack, which is actually exactly what happened here. Okay, so I got the lands. I really like that top deck, and so now I think I have plenty of options. I can go for a Seasoned Pyromancer, put a Flage in the yard, but I must say that I like both of these plays. I like just playing Flage and gaining 3. I think that looks pretty solid here as well. And I got a bunch of blockers with Seasoned Pyromancer and attackers next turn for WINOTA. I also got Arena of Glory and put my Flage in the yard. This is really perfect. Can't get much better than this. Opponent plays 2 creatures, and I play Arena of Glory with haste, put my WINOTA with haste on the field, and now I trigger. I decided not to attack with Ajani. Maybe I should have, but I decided not to. And Ajani is also a trigger, and I actually missed 1 trigger and got 2 Gyro Souls, which wasn't what I was hoping for. I hoped to hit much better here, and I went like all in with this attack, and it was potentially a mistake. Not really a mistake, but just I got unlucky. Sometimes that happens, and as we can see here, opponent actually I maybe should have attacked with all, or just stayed back with more creatures. Like Seasoned Pyromancer was unnecessary attack here, since it doesn't trigger WINOTA, and I actually lost this one. Okay, so I boarded in more removal, more Traben Charms. A Canonist can sometimes be a problem for them, and it's definitely better than Voice of Victory in this matchup. And okay, so here I mulligan to 6, keep a decent 6, and surveil, pass a turn. And here I go, turn 2 Ajani. Once again, Ajani blocks their deck very well, and they need to kill it to be able to attack. And opponent is stuck on mana here. Okay, so I can only do one thing, that is Static Prison, Surveil, and just go for WINOTA next turn, try to win with WINOTA this game. I see another Ajani on top. That's actually pretty decent top deck. I don't mind having another Ajani on top. Okay, so I stay back this turn. My opponent is stuck on mana. They only play another channeler, and their mana screw just giving me like a free win here. I go for attack with WINOTA, trigger WINOTA 2 times, and I also got a Pyromancer or a Lightning here. I decide to go for a Lightning, so I deal damage with Lightning first, and everything else deals double damage. So even with just a few attackers, that is a lot of damage here, and my opponent this time concedes. Okay, no big changes for game 3. I just decided to add Wrath of the Skies instead of Traben Charm. And yeah, okay, so that's it. Start off with tapped Arena of Glory, but I guess that's fine. Opponent goes Preordain, bubbles, and passes the turn. Okay, so again I go for a turn 2 Ajani, third game in a row. Opponent has the bolt this time, kills my Ajani, attacks with Swiss Spear. That's fine. I didn't actually get the third land I was hoping for, but it's okay. I have stuff I can play. So I'm land away from playing everything I have, but I do have bombardment and discharge in meantime. Okay, so now I go for a bombardment this turn. Opponent is not doing much anyway, and still no land for me here. I decide to go for Static Prison, and if I'm planning for a Wrath of the Skies kind of anyway, so if I can, at some point I can let my Static Prison die and then play Wrath of the Skies, kill everything. So still no land, but I have the discharge, and once I get that third land, I'm actually really well positioned. Here it is, I got the third land, and now I can go for a Pyromancer, of course, but I decided to... I think it's best actually to go for a Flage in this situation. I'm just gaining 3 and killing their creature. Okay, opponent goes for a Slick Shot again. Okay, this time I want to get more lands. I have plenty life, and I don't think I will need a Wrath of the Skies anymore. So I can put another Flage in the yard, get 2 tokens with a Seasoned Pyromancer. I have a bunch of not just I have blockers for their creatures attacking, but also if they go for a Slick Shot, I can just use Bombardment to kill it. It's such a strong situation. It's really hard for my opponent to do much. Okay, so still no a fourth land for me, but here I got lightning with haste, and we can see how cool lightning is with Goblin Bombardment and any other creature actually. So lightning first strikes them and they go down to 10, and then my creatures instead of 4 damage deal 8, and they go down to 2, and now every bombardment trigger deals double damage for rest of the turn. So I easily find lethal here. My opponent was on 13 and they did not expect to die here, but lightning did the job. So lightning can be good with Arena of Glory even without WINOTA. Okay, this time I'm playing against Zoo. My opponent goes for a Leyline of the Guild Pact, and turn 1 plays Ragavan. I'm offering them a trade, and they're definitely taking it, so yeah. All according to plan, and now my opponent goes for a Territorial Kavu. This is, I think, a good situation to play Seasoned Pyromancer, get the blocker on the field, put Flage in the yard. I have Arena of Glory on the field, so a Flage in the yard looks very good, and I have 2 attackers for WINOTA next turn. Let's see what opponent does here first. They of course exile Flage from my yard. That's fine. I block with a Spyro. Checking to see what will they do, but I have 2 WINOTA here and I'm okay with them binding one of my WINOTAs, so I decide to use the first one without exerting the arena. Or did I exert Arena? I think I didn't. Yeah, I didn't exert Arena. Maybe I should have, but I really thought they're probably going to have Leyline Binding in their hands, so that was the reason why I didn't do it. And I got lightning here, so I'm gaining life, attacking for a lot of damage. And even if they kill my WINOTA, I have next turn WINOTA attacking again, 2 more triggers. Okay, they kill lightning. It's the only thing they can kill with bolt here. And okay, so I go for attack. I don't want them to stubborn denial my second discharge, so I first go for a WINOTA ability, trying to find Voice of Victory, and here it is. So now my opponent can't interact with me. They can't interact. I have voice on the field, and now I choose Season Pyromancer, and before Season Pyromancer ability resolves, I play double discharge on to kill their Kavu, and that was it. They concede. Okay, so Magos of the Moon goes in, Wear Tears, Traben Charm. This time when I'm bringing in the Magos, I'm usually getting rid of the Lightning. I think that's a good switch. Okay, so I actually decided against Wear Tears and just Traben Charms and Static Prisons here, plus Magos Moon. I think that looks perfect here, and yeah, I'm very happy with this hand as well. Starting off with Ragavan, turn 2 Ajani into turn 3 Pyromancer. I also have Static Prison. Looks kind of perfect. Okay, so opponent goes for Cyano Draco. I can't kill it with discharge, so I can only use a Static Prison, but I'm connecting, which means I will also be able to use Ajani. Okay, so I'm going for a Draco, connecting, and going for a basic, and playing Ajani, of course. This is... I'm way ahead of opponent here. Let's see what they do. Okay, opponent goes... I did not expect this, but they go for Scavenging Ooze plus Bolt, kills my Ajani. I killed their Ooze, and this turn I decided to play my Guide of Souls and play tapped land, and pass a turn. I have enough energy for the Static Prison. Next turn, if they don't kill the Guide of Souls, I'm going for a Spyro. Looks great here. Opponent only plays a Leyline of the Guild Pact. They really don't have much here. And now I can go for a land. I go for a land, play Spyro, get another token, trigger Guide of Souls twice, which means I can also use Guide of Souls ability in this combat if I want. Okay, I'm going for attack, and I got their bolt to actually finish them off on the same turn. Okay, so that is it against Zoo. Let's check out match 3. Okay, so my opponent plays Preordain, passes turn. I go turn 1 Ocelot Pride, I got turn 2 Voice of Victory, turn 3 Spyro, and WINOTA on turn 4. That is the perfect curve. Okay, so I can choose between 2 plays here. I decide to go for Ragavan Dash, of course. This guarantees me that I'll be able to play a Season Pyromancer next turn, which is what I really want here. And I also got their bubble. Getting their bubble was truly amazing here. Okay, so opponent goes for the Slick Shot. I'm truly really happy. I can go, I have Static Prison, Discharge. I think going Static Prison here plus Ragavan seems okay. I don't want to use my treasure because I want to be able to play a Season Pyromancer next turn again with my treasure mana, but also be able to hold a Galvanic Discharge on their turn seems great. Okay, opponent goes for Slick Shot. Plays Preordain, attacks me for 3, and then they try to go for Mutagenic Growth, and now in response I go for another Discharge, and my opponent decides to concede after that. Okay, I use some more Static Prisons, Wrath of the Skies, Canonists in this matchup, and it's time to go for another game. Opponent goes for turn 1 DRC. I use Static Prison immediately. I think delaying their game plan is worth playing Static Prison on turn 1, even if it means that I lose my Static Prison eventually and they'll get their creature back. Okay, so I go for Canonist. And of course they play Core Steel, they play Misha Bubble, but they will have troubles playing other spells, so I think it's still worth it having the Canonist. These decks often play a lot of spells in the turn. Okay, so I only have one white mana here. That was a problem for me here, and I can't, for example, play Traber Charm on their turn, and I don't know, like Static Prison on my turn. Also, Canonist kind of locked me in this game from playing Gyro Souls plus Ocelot Pride on my turn. So, I don't know, it was my first game with Canonist against them, so I was just kind of testing it, but not sure if it's worth it. It definitely makes their game harder for them, but it can work against me as well. Okay, so here I kill the Dragon Ray Channeler in their upkeep, and opponent goes for Prismatic Ending, takes my Canonist, then plays the Slickshot Show Off and goes in for a lot of damage. Okay, unfortunately I still don't have a second white mana to play my Ocelot Pride, and my opponent finds more than enough stuff here to kill me, so it's time for game 3. I think Canonist is still kind of nice, as sometimes can be a good Winota target as well. And here it is, Season Pyromancer. It is a kind of a card I was looking for. It's perfect to play it a turn before you play Winota. It just doesn't get much better than that, and it's kind of hard for a Prowess to kill Winota. They play bolts and not that many unholy heats. Also, their unholy heat has to be online. Okay, so I go for Winota here. Go for Spyro, discard Winota plus another land. I have one attacker for Winota, but it's maybe better to wait a couple more turns. I'm ahead in this game. I decide to jump with my Spyro, and here I go, Gyro Souls. Triggering Gyro Souls, getting a lot of these ATB abilities, then go for Ocelot Pride, and I can use my I will have blockers for their attackers, and I have Static Prison in hand. I'm getting more creatures with Ocelot Pride that trigger Winota, which is great. Next turn, if I top deck a land, it will probably be game over. Okay, so my opponent has a Lava Dart, and they go in for 6 damage. I think that's fine. I decide to let everything go through. And I have Static Prison plus Ocelot Pride again, and it's not good for opponent. Opponent goes down on 2. And I gain 2 more life here, 2 more God of Souls abilities. Opponent uses the Lava Dart, but they have to kill their land, which doesn't give them much chance to survive next turn. But they got a Swiss Spear. They got another Unholy Heat, kills my Gyro Souls, but can't survive and decides to concede. Okay, so that was another match. Let's go. Let's check out the next one. Opponent goes for Ragavan turn 1. I have removal here. It's looking pretty good for me. I can go either turn 3 Flage or turn 3 Spyro. Both plays seem pretty solid. In this situation, opponent only goes for another Gyro Souls. So I think I maybe should have went for... I think I wanted to put 3 counters on Gyro Souls here so they can't Flage it. I think that was my intention, yeah. So my Gyro Souls is now 3-4, they can't kill it with Discharge, they can kill it with Flage, which is great because it's now their turn 3. Okay, so here they go for playing new card, the Brinkhandir. I really like this card, and they have really think this card will be good in energy. Okay, so here I have option to go for Season Pyromancer, discard Flage, but I actually prefer just going for Flage here, hardcast Flage, kill the Brinkhandir. Don't want to let them have any crazy turns. I'm staying back with all my creatures here as well. I have my Gyro Souls. They can't attack with Ocelot Pride. They're still triggering it because of the Flage. Okay, so now I go for Spyro. Trigger my Gyro Souls a few more times. Discard my Ajani. And now I have enough creatures. I have enough cards in the yard to play Flage. And I have 2 Gyro Souls, which means I'm able to use 2 abilities from Gyro Souls, which is huge at the moment. I have Arena of Glory in the yard, but my opponent has Flage in the yard as well. Okay, so it's going to be, I think, close, but I have Arena of Glory, and I think in these games usually the one who has Arena of Glory wins, but I also have WINOTA in my deck and Lightning. This can be crucial. We can see opponent going for Flage here, playing Ragavan, killing one of my creatures, and going for attack with Ocelot Pride, and just triggering Ocelot Pride twice and Gyro Souls. Okay, so I got a really big turn here, so I'm going for Flage with haste, and I also have 1 mana open for Galvanic Discharge. This is really big. I use this 1 mana to kill their Flage, and I'm going for attack with everything. Kill another creature of theirs with Flage, and they now don't have enough cards in the yard to play Flage again. They find Brinkhandir and Ocelot Pride again, but this is not enough. On my side, I got 2 Gyro Souls and the Flage, and this won't be enough for opponent to get back into the game. But they are filling yard again to... Unfortunately, I didn't get a creature here. Creature here would be kill. I did not get it, but I kill. I think that's fine. So I kill their Brinkhandir, attack them with a flyer again. And now my opponent can play Flage, but they did not play it for some reason. I don't know what is the reason, but they did not play it, and it's just made things for me super easy. Even if they did play it, I would have Static Prison for a Flage. I would probably just win anyway, but it was even easier like this. Okay, opponent has 1 more turn to do something, but it's not enough. It's not enough for them to get back into the game. And once again, I go in for the game 2. I board in Wrath of the Skies and Traber Charm, Trim the Lightning, Voice of Victory, and the Ragavans. So I'm ready for another game. Okay, so it is another pretty solid hand. I start off with Gyro Souls. My opponent has a perfect Bolt plus Ajani. On turn 2, I have Ajani as well, but I decide to go just kill their Ajani, prevent them from flipping it, and just surveil this turn. My opponent again plays the Brinkhandir, finds a land with it, plays a land, and I go for a surveil. I have 2 Flages in my hand, which I can play from the hand. It seems pretty good. I'm getting the value from playing this Flages from hand, so I think it's good to just hard cast it like this. I could also go for a Spyro and discard both of them. Okay, opponent goes for another Brinkandir and the Ocelot Pride. I find another land here, and I decide to, since I have draw a land for a turn, I decide to double spell this turn. So I kill their Brinkandir, play my Ajani. If my opponent attacks now, I can flip Ajani, so they can't really do it. I go for a Surveil and find another Spyro on the top. I leave that on top and play a Flage from my yard. Seems perfect. I kill their Ocelot Pride, attack with my Ajani. I have a red permanent now. If they block it, my Ajani flips. And I'm in such a strong situation. It's really hard for opponent to get out of this situation at the moment. Okay, so first I go for attacks. I kill both their Ocelot and Gyrosouls. Opponent jumps, and I still have 2 cards in my hand. I go for, I can flip my Ajani if I want, or I can just kill their creature. I decide to kill their token, pass the turn. I'm in such a good situation, just don't see how my opponent can get out of this one. Okay, but they did find Flage, and that is some hope for them. I have a Season Pyro here, drawing me 2 more cards, so I go for another attack. Put them down on 8. I can play Ocelot Pride, trigger Ocelot Pride, get more Ocelot Pride tokens. Opponent now can play their Flage, gain some life, but it's not enough. It's not enough, and I have Discharge, just kill the Flage, and opponent I think misclicks or misplays. I don't know what happened. But they misplay, and that is the league. I finished this league 4-1. It was a good league. I played against Boros Energy and Proves mostly, and it seems like both of these matchups seemed pretty good. I think this deck is very favored to win against a regular Boros Energy deck. WINOTA is huge against them. Lightning works well, as they have to kill it. It's easy to kill it with Flage, but with a Reign of Glory and WINOTA in deck, not so much. So Lightning will win you games with these 2 cards, in combination with these 2 cards, and WINOTA is often a kind of a card that brings so much advantage to the board that it's actually I'm sorry that in this league I didn't have the crazy WINOTA turns. I think I just played mostly the regular energy gameplay, but in other leagues I had like a crazy WINOTA turns. Literally I had like a mulligan to 4. Turn 2 play Ajani, turn 3 Surveil, turn 4 I went WINOTA with haste into lethal damage, and such things happened. And I had also like the perfect hands with turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Ajani, Ocelot Pride, turn 3 is Season Pyromancer, discard Flage, turn 4 WINOTA with haste, get like 5-6 triggers and one-shot my opponent with lightning ability. That were pretty cool. That did not happen in this league. It was mostly like the mid-range battles against Boros Energy, but we still see the deck is working good in the mirror. WINOTA is a big deal there, and I really like how good it works with lightning and puts it into play, and immediately it deals damage and makes everything else just deal double damage. It really leads to some crazy turns. I had interesting matches against Boros Energy mirrors, which it would not be possible to win in any other way than having WINOTA plus lightning in your deck. So plus Gyrosouls, which gives lightning flying, that can be often relevant. Just giving flying to lightning, make it trigger the ability, and that was also huge. But yeah, overall pretty happy with this deck. I think this deck is much better than people think. I think it could potentially be even better than the regular energy. and depending on the matchup, depending on the meta game, and this can be a lot more aggressive than the regular energy. It can regularly win on turn 4s against uninteractive decks thanks to the Vinota and Lightning. And yeah, okay, so the card I'm still have mixed feelings about is Canonist. It's good against a Storm. I mostly like it for a Storm matchup, so it depends how good is Storm in your area or online. I think it's really good there. And it's useful. It's a 2/2, so it doesn't die to Bowmaster Lava Dart, so that's relevant. And it's a human, can be found with Vinota. I think it's a potentially good fit in this deck. But of course, Cory Steel Cutter and Mishra Bubbles are artifacts, and some of these decks have a way to play around it. Very easy way decks that would this card would be great against. They can find ways to play around it, so it's not as good as it could be potentially in the meta game, but still worth trying out. Okay, so that is it. I just wanted to have a Canonist here for the video, so you know this is option, but you also know that there are other options to play in this slot. This can be like Deafening Silence. There are cards like High Noon, Magebane Lizard, Damping Sphere people play, but mostly right now I see people playing like Deafening Silence. That's good. That's like a 1 mana Canonist, but I think for this video this card is more in flavor with Vinota deck, so I got it there for the video, but definitely flex slot of the sideboard in this build. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Friendly reminder for the end, click like, click subscribe, comment down below in the video, tell me what do you think. Is Vinota potentially a better way to play energy? I think Vinota is in this deck is really good, and I think it's a serious or starting to be serious option to just take the four mana slots in the energy decks, especially now if you want to play lightning in your deck. I think it's better to play it with Vinota in than without Vinota in energy. So if you're a fan of the new card Lightning, I think it's just miles better with Vinota in deck. It's such a perfect combination, Lightning plus Vinota. I even call the deck Lightning Vinota Energy. And it's the best hit. You're always hoping to find either the Lightning or the Spyro, of course, but mostly lightning where you, because you're also gaining 3. This guy has lifelink and first strike, and you're also gaining 3, so you're getting ahead with life, and which can be relevant often. And the ability is just huge. Deck plays a lot of creatures, and with Goblin Bombardment it can also go crazy. And that's it. Okay, so I think what you could do if you want to try some stuff in this deck, maybe like Voice of Victory is, I think, good. You could see in a couple of situations Voice of Victory can lock opponent out of playing spells when you're attacking, and then in the middle of combat you can play your spells, like when I played when I hit Voice of Victory and then played Galvanic Discharge after that to kill their cows so they can't counter it. I think that is cool, and there is a lot of situation like that where you're hoping to hit Voice of Victory and it just wins you a game when you do. And but you could try some new cards like that Summon Brinhandir card from the Final Fantasy. You could cut like the Ragavans, but Ragavans are really good. You could try trimming some Voice of Victories or something else, but in this version deck is kind of full. There is no much room for anything. You could like cut, if you want to play like 4 lightning, you could cut 1 voice, or if you want or vice versa, of course, but there is just no much room. You could cut 1 voice if you prefer like 3rd bombardment or 3rd flage, stuff like that. That's like 3rd voice is kind of my flex slot in the main, but there is no aside from that there is no much room to change a bunch. And yeah, okay, so once again thank you for watching, and that's all for today. Goodbye.